morning, this is Dave Johnston with Day Trade the Markets, and we're looking at a 1-minute chart of the Emini S&P for Thursday, October the 13th, 2016. So we have just been filled long here on a bit of a pullback. You can see here today, I'll just kind of move back in the day. You can see that the market has had substantially lower opening today. It initially sold off and then started to rally up, and we've taken out this high here. So the pullback area that I'm anticipating this market will find some support is at our green area in here, which is what the Day Trade the Markets does. It creates these trade location zones of likely intraday support and resistance. It also produces colored paint bars which measure the level of aggressiveness on the part of the buying and the selling. There's 3 colors for each, 3 for selling, 3 for buying. It also produces these vertical rectangles that we call high velocity moves. So the blue bars that you see right here is very strong buying. That's very aggressive buying and anticipating the support to come in down here. So I've entered a long trade a little bit above there, and we are now long from 21 even. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and put in my protective sell stop. And I'm going to go ahead and put that stop in just below this area right here where this last wave of buying started. So we did have a little bit of a dip right here before it went up. So I'm going to use this price here at 19 as kind of my line in the sand, if you will. And we're long for 4 contracts. So I'm going to put my stop just a little bit below 19. So I'm going to put it at 18.5. So we're going to put a sell stop in there at 18.5. The next objective on the upside is up in this area here, roughly in the 24 area, 24 to 25. So I'm going to go ahead and try and sell 2 of the contracts. We're long from 21. I'm going to go ahead and sell 2 at 23.5. Sell them at 23.5. So our first objective is 2.5 points, and our risk is 2.5 points. So we've got everything in place for right now. I will go ahead and also just produce some of these markers here so we can see where we have our trades on. So we've got our stop down here, we've got our entry right here, and we've got our first objective up here. So I will go ahead and pause the recording and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, I've resumed the recording here. The market did come down just a tick above our support. It has bounced up here to 22.5. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust this stop to just below that last dip. So I need to adjust this as well. So our risk at this point is 3/4 of 1 point, or 3 ticks. The Emini S&P, for those of you not that familiar with it, each point here, in other words, when the market moves from 21.21 to 21.22 is 1 point, and that has a value of $50. So to get from 20.21 to 21.22, it has to go 4 ticks or 1 point. And so each tick is as a tick, just the minimum increment that the market moves if it's going to move up or down. And that's worth $12.50, and then the point is worth 4 times that, or $50. So we're getting pretty close here to our next objective, and it has now moved to 23 from 21. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the stop to break even here. I might be stretching this a little bit, so I think on this one I'm going to bring it down to just 1.5 points. So I'm going to try and exit at 22.50. There's a red bar right here, this one right here, where this last wave of selling started, and it just popped up and hit that. So I'm going to get some bit of resistance in there. So I've gone ahead and made an adjustment on that first objective of just 1.5 points on this trade. So and we do have our break-even stop in right now. Okay, it's hitting up into that area. So, maybe we're going to get filled here in a second. We'll see. Okay, there we do. Just got filled on that. So I need to adjust this stop, adjust it down to 2. We'll leave it like that. I'm a little bit reluctant on the long side right now in the Emini S&P in the stock markets because it's, in our opinion, has an intraday down auction, but we've had good up move here. So in the daytime frame, obviously want to trade from the long side. Just got to be a little bit nimble as far as the management of the trade is concerned. I'm going to go ahead, nimble just meaning that I don't really want to stay in the trade a long time because the sellers could, regain control. I'm going to go ahead and put a sell limit up here for just one of the two remaining contracts at 24.50. So that would be what? That would be 3 points. So I've got a. Is that right? 20. No, it'd be if I put it at long from 21. So 24 would be 3. So I'll go ahead and put that marker in. We did make a point and a half, so just a point and a half the first objective and 3 points on the second objective. We do have our stop in here on the remaining two contracts right now at break even. So I'll go ahead and put the recording on pause and pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just started the recording back up. Market has backed off. We came within a couple of ticks of that second objective, but unfortunately it's backed off from there. Now it's just come within a tick of our break-even stop for the second half of the position. So just wanted to start up the recording, see if we can catch that, but just bringing you up to date. So in the meantime, I'll go ahead and pause the recording. Okay, restarting the recording again. It came down within a tick. We got a little lucky there, obviously, coming to within just a tick of getting us stopped out. Now it's rallied up to within a tick of our objective. So, it's obviously moving sideways here. So we'll just leave it as it is, and hopefully we'll get filled on this soon. So just bringing you up to date on that. And once again, I'll go ahead and pause the recording. Okay, we just got filled. Whoops, as you can see here, just came up and hit our price and got filled on that. That was our objective, our marker right there. So now just long one contract. So change our stop amount to just one. We started with 4, and that we have now been filled on 3 of those 4 contracts. The first 2 at plus 1.5 points, so that's a total of 3. And this other one here for 3 points on one contract. So 6 points so far, and no worse than that because we have locked in a break even here at our entry price. You can see I've got the sell stop right here at our entry price at 21.21. So I'm just going to leave that stop the way it is right now. Let the market keep running. We'll just do a trailing stop on this final contract. So just bring you up to date on that. Once again, I will go ahead and pause the recording. Okay, resuming the recording here. It is continuing to move higher. You can see we had a nice, what we call a high velocity move here as it broke to new highs. That's obviously a bullish indication. We've also had a couple of blue bars in here, which is nice because that is our most aggressive buying bar. The second most aggressive buying bar is a green bar. I've seen a green one here, green here, green here. The weakest of the aggressive buying is the light green. We have had some strong selling today. Our second most strongest selling is this red bar. And then the weakest of the aggressive selling is the light red or pink. I don't think we have. Okay, here's a magenta here. I think this might have been from late yesterday, but a magenta bar, as you see over here, that's our strongest on the sell side. So I want to go ahead and make an adjustment on this stop. And you can see that we've got a couple of these blue bars here. So I'm going to be fairly aggressive on this and go ahead and place a protective sell stop just below the low of the highest blue bar. Now that's this bar right here. This bar right here. This is our most recent and highest blue bar. We'll just make a notation here. The low of that bar you can see is at 21.26. So 21.25.50 is where I'll put the protective buy stop there. And I will also put a marker on there so we can see that right in here, the marker on that. Okay, there we go. So market has continued to move up. Our next objective is around the 29 area. We're obviously fairly close to that, just 28 and a quarter right now. So we could be on our way here to taking out that level, which would obviously be additionally a bullish sign. So Market is responding fairly nicely, certainly on the daytime frame here, rallying higher. So we've got our stop in place, and just to keep the recording as short as possible, I will go ahead once again and put it on pause. Resuming the recording here again, we have had continuation up. You can see we had a sell bar here that decelerated. The expectation then that that bar should have its high taken out, which did take place. So I'm going to adjust the stop once again to one tick below the low of this decel bar, which is at 27.50. So I'll put my stop at 27 even. There we go. So just wanted to bring up to date on the placement of that stop, and I'll adjust the marker accordingly. So it's continuing to move up. That 29 area could find some resistance, so I want to be careful here, which is why I have put in a fairly tight stop. So we'll go ahead and pause the recording and pick it up as the market dictates. So I'll put it on pause. Okay, just started the recording again. We do have a blue bar here, as you can see. It's a small blue bar. I'm going to go ahead, and because we know that there's a potential resistance area, the low of that blue bar is right here, 28.75. I'm going to increase that stop up here to 28 even, and I'll put the marker in right here as well. So no worse than, we're long from 21 to 28, so 7-point locked in on this last contract here. Yeah, I think we're looking good for now. We made 1.5 points in the first two contracts, total of 3 points there. We made 3 points on the third contract, so that was a total of 6. We've locked in 7 here, so locked in 13 points on this trade so far, and it's still looking good. So just bring me up to date on that, and once again I'll go ahead and pause the recording. Restarting the recording again. We do have a tight stop in here. It just come down within a tick of it, so just thought I would restart the recording, as it looks like we might get stopped here. Now, remember though that we came within a tick of getting stopped out down here. If you recall, we had our stop in a good place here. I think this one is a lot tighter stop, so certainly would not be surprised if we do get stopped on this one. But just bring you up to date on that, and once again I'll pause the recording. Okay, we just got hit on that stop right here. So that was at 28, and of course we were long down here from 21, so 7 points on that, and we had a total of 6 on the other 3 contracts, 1.5 times 2 and 3 times 1. That's a total of 6, and then 7 here is 13 points. So that was a trade in the Emini S&P. It was going against the grain on the intraday, but certainly with the grain on the intraday, and it gave us a really nice opportunity to get long, in particular here at our trade location zone within the context of very strong up move today. And you can see our green filter down at the bottom here came down, hit into the support area, came within a tick of that. We're able to get long just above that, and use the software as well to manage the trade all the way up here. So worked out to be a very nice trade in the Emini S&P for today, October the 13th, 2016. If you have any questions or comments, please get a hold of us at info@daytradethemarkets.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.